Trump recently called Tim Walz Tampon Tim at a rally. This was, of course, after he said the Democrats take babies out of the womb and murder them, which, of course, never happens, but not a single person in the media called them out. And then we had Joe Rogan howling with a guest about how good Trump is at calling people names and how hilarious the Tampon Tim nickname is. He said he's so good at this. Really, what's he so good at? Being a bully? Calling people names? And really, what makes Tampon Tim so hilarious? I mean, the name comes from the fact that Governor Tim Walz signed legislation requiring public schools to provide free menstrual products to students in 4th through 12th grade and made Minnesota one of the 28 states, including Washington, D.C., who passed laws looking to give students access to these necessary products. So what's so funny about that? I'm not going to bother to get into the radical transphobic garbage about the Minnesota bill's inclusive language that the far right jumped on to stoke their base's hate for anything woke, which includes putting these products in any bathroom that might have a student getting their period, and just say what this is really about, which is for certain men, making fun of periods is funny. And sticking a man with a nickname like Tampon Tim is the most hilarious thing ever. Except it's not. FYI, periods are a pain. Every single month, women, and yes, people who are born with female organs, deal with their periods so humanity can literally exist. We bleed so you can be born. And we have been shamed and made to feel embarrassed about it forever. We whisper to each other and secretly pass tampons and pads because of this kind of humiliation. And honestly, I'm sick of it. So putting products in bathrooms that acknowledge the reality of 50% of the American population just seems smart. I don't know who needs to hear this, but having your period is expensive and not fun. And a lot of people get actual serious physical pain because of it. We ruin our clothes and our beds and our days. We apologize for not being able to have sex or because we can't swim or we can't do something because of it. I got my period at 10 years old and I still have it now. And that is a hell of a long time. But these men, this Republican presidential candidate, this man paid $125 million to talk in a podcast, are making fun of this natural thing that just happens to us by tying a man's name to a tampon. I can still remember the boy who didn't make me feel ashamed when I was 17 years old and got my period on the seat of his car. We cleaned it up, but I was humiliated, and he was awesome. My husband and I deliberately raised our son to think periods were normal because they are. And if he ever saw a mark on the back of a girl's pants, to immediately give her a sweatshirt to tie around her waist and make sure she felt no judgment over something she had no control over. But these grown men, these leaders and captains of industry, are out here making their little jokes at our expense while their political plans are to marginalize us and strip us of our rights and turn us into some kind of brood mares in their sick Christian nationalist fever dream. No, thank you. I don't find that very funny. So maybe keep your little boy jokes to yourselves, because we are out here dealing with big girl problems. Oh, ha 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 ha, tampons are so funny. Grow up, losers.